Hi, I'm Lanita Medina from Camden, Maine, and I'm here to wish you a happy new year. And I want to get you off to a good start by thinking of some ways to play a word game that I think is very uplifting and very uh, rewarding. And so I'll just dive right in and talk about this idea. So I actually want to give credit to Pam Wynn because she showed this idea in October or November. I think it might have been November, October. Anyway, and I really liked the thought of writing and journaling on these little journal papers. I also liked how these are punched out with a notebook punch. But I decided to change it up a bit using what I call a word game. And so during Christmas, our family of 13, we were just -2, gathered in Bowling Green, Kentucky, just because it was a central place. And, you know, we're from all parts of the country: Alaska, California, Maine, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas. And also gathering all of us together can just kind of evoke a lot of feelings and thoughts, and I don't know, what does everybody think, right? And so I brought these words that are from the, let's see, this I Am Grateful To pack. They're 20 laser cut embellishments, they're called, but they're words. And I've used them a lot before, but this time what I did is I took them with me, and I took little pieces of journal paper, and I had everybody choose a word, and there was enough to choose from here because it would only be the adults that would do this, right? Not the babies or kids, because they can't write yet. And choose one word. So I said, we're going to play a word game. You know, the kids make fun of me when I say we're going to play a game. And then they're like, oh no, what's mom going to make us do? I said, no, this is going to be really fun. You are going to choose one word from here, and then you're going to write how this one word describes our week together, or our 10 days together. And it was super, super fun. At the end of this video, you'll see 2 or 3 of my family members reading theirs, maybe 2. And then I'll have some pictures of them writing them out also. And it was just really fun because everybody's is different. Notice even just handwriting is different. And that is special in itself because our handwriting is a part of us. So we had all the way from my mom, who's 93, down to who would be the youngest, probably KK, who's 25, and all the in-betweens. As I put it together here for you, it's going to look a little empty because I'm missing 2 of them. Actually, I'm missing 3. So when it looks like it's not packed enough, it's because I'm still missing 3 people's words. So my son and daughter-in-law, who were not there, they also choose a word. And Amanda chose hand in hand, which looks like this. And so I'm still waiting for her too. So that's kind of a fun one, right? Let's see. Here we go. Hand in hand. That's kind of a fun one to wait for. But anyway, it was interesting to see what they chose. So we have memories, the best, sweetness, blessed or blessed, outstanding, limitless, remember, warm, precious. And the variety of thoughts was very fun. So I'm going to just take a moment to read this really quickly. This was my daughter, the youngest, limitless. I chose this word when thinking of all the tears of this trip. Ramona is almost 4 and Ender is 2. And it's a hard age, I guess. But where there is limitless tears, there is even more patience, laughs, lessons, and memories. The family is continuing to grow, and instead of our love running out, it appears to be truly limitless, growing in size along with our team, which is Team Medina. So that's just one of them, because when she chose limitless, I thought, oh, what's she going to say about that? Super, super fun. All right, so how to decorate. I'm going to take this off. And because, no, actually, let me just go back to how I found the pieces. So these journal papers are from the back to school pack. And I had cut them up to make an album, an 8x8 album, such as this. And so you can see how this is what the paper looked like, but I cut off pieces from this side. That's why I have the tops like this. So I actually have the upside down pieces of this paper. And so I took these papers, I took these exact pieces like this, like just a hodgepodge. Okay, you can write this way. You could do one of those. It looks like that's the only one that is using one of these traditional papers. And most of them chose this that I had already cut the top off and mostly writing. The size I did was 3.5. I better measure again because now I can't remember. I wanted them a little bit bigger. Okay, so 3 by 4. That is pretty easy. I knew I wanted them as big as possible, but I needed to make sure everyone fit in here. All right, now I did not do this part here, although I really wanted to. I had my punch there, or my border maker cartridge and everything there, but I realized that I wanted more writing for one thing, and so they felt like they needed to scooch these up and not write as much, like this one and even this one. This one could have fit this one. So anyway, so that and this one for sure. And so that we opted off not to do that, but you can. And then the other thing that I did is I have been doing some calendar grids, and I just taught a class today in virtual scrapbooking. I think it was that group. And so these were leftover grids from the calendar page. So let me see, where did yeah, I had a calendar paper here. Here it is. All right, so these calendar pages are no longer available, but I love using them as grids, or in this case, it's going to be a negative, like the old negatives. That was in my mind what I was doing. So I said, okay, these are going to be like little negatives. And then I put them on the journal paper, the one that I think they just discontinued this also, but I think there's a replacement, so don't worry. And I just put my calendar pieces that I had cut up. I cut this one up because there are only 6 there, so I added one more so that I would have a full 7. So, if you look closely, you'll see that it does kind of look pieced, but the reality is that we know that people are my family will look at the pictures and not necessarily like, is it a little crooked, or are the pictures not quite right? And they'll right away get it. Oh yeah, they're old enough to remember negatives. And so this is like the little negatives, tiny photos, and what they describe are some of the things that are described in each of these words and little notes. So for example, Brendan, I looked through his and it mentioned bird watching. And so here's one of the birds when Norman and Jason and Brendan with the guys went bird watching. And that's why I chose this for part of the decoration, because when it got chaotic with 13 people in the house and the babies were crying and there was, you know, just a little bit of noise. They went bird watching and it was calm and peaceful, and they have really good memories of that. It was a good thing. And so that was part of what we put in. It was Bella's first Christmas, and there were several of us that mentioned Bella's first Christmas. So she's in there quite a bit. She got her two new teeth. And so that was mentioned, and I stuck that in there. We went thrift shopping. That was a highlight for several of these. And so there's one of those, playing games, 3 days of Christmas, anniversary, Candace filling us with natural juices, the phones falling into the hot tub. You know, each of these, eating, of course, eating, each of these things are mentioned in here. And so the fun part when your family reads this, my family, but when you do this, I'm not saying if, when you do this, your family will read this, what you made, and they'll be looking like, oh my goodness, is that, oh yeah, that's what they wrote about. So it's very, very fun. All right, now I'm going to just go ahead, and you saw the supplies. You saw the supplies I used. I chose this black brick paper that's from Our Moments. I wanted to go with Christmas, but it just didn't, somehow it didn't seem like the right thing because there was so much writing, and Christmas stuff can be a little bit busy. So on this one, again, because the decorations can be a little busy when there's a theme of just writing, I'm choosing Hearts for the Love of a Family. And then, of course, the birds down here. And I'm splitting them. And then I'll do some other things around there. So I'll split the little chickadees. We have chickadees in Maine. So that's very fun. And the other things will be raised or on foam squares. And these will not. But, of course, you can do things however you want, right? I was tempted to show this from there, like there was a, what was it, pool table, and I thought, well, I could do this from the pool table here, but I don't know, there was just too much noise, so, you know, I opted to bring it home to finish up here, and I did want to get some of these pictures printed and so forth. All right, so I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap there so that it hopefully sort of looks like a negative. It almost feels like I have a little bit too much white space, but and it's probably backwards than a negative. I have black on white rather than white on black, but anyway, whatever, I don't know. I think it's in my mind that it's a negative, so so that's okay then, right? Okay, so then, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and put these because it's all about the words. However, I am not putting them permanent necessarily because I want to make sure that I have room for the ones that are coming. So I'm going to fill up the space, and I also want to decorate a little bit. What I did is I prepped these ahead of time, and just as a little side note, you can prep things ahead of time on, if you have one of these, but it can also be a piece of plastic wrap or, you know, those sorts of things. So you can take all these things off and cluster them on this, and it's not going to stick. So you can kind of decide, how do I want it? And take all the backings off and have them ready. And then when you have your layout, you can look and say, okay, yeah, I think I do want this right here. That's what I'm going to say right here. I'm going to put this here. And then perhaps, let's see, I'll just do that. And a little bit there. We'll just kind of give it a little bit of a twisty turn, right? And this one cannot tuck or anything because that is full. That is mine. Okay, so because this is the beginning of what I want to reflect on, I'm going to put this up here. So I want to say, remember and reflect. And I think I have this one ready. Now I put it on the hat because when a couple of the presents that Bella and Krista got were matching hats. And these are what's in style now with the little pom-poms. Don't have pictures of that, I don't think, but plenty exist. So that was part of the memory. Again, the stickers and that sort of thing are part of the memory. All right, so I've got those two, and I'm pretty sure that I want the remaining that would go over here. So I'm bringing in this letter stuff. I know it's a little bit like not the colors I'm using, but I'm bringing in the tradition that we now have of drawing names and having stockings because there are so many of us. So yes, there are presents, but I'll make sure I don't cover the words. There are presents, but we also, the stockings are a big deal, and it's planned all year long. And so, you know, that is part of the tradition. So these are all parts of the tradition, okay? So am I going to have room for the two remaining? I think I will. And what I'm going to do is bring this one up since that one is so full. And then the other one can go down here. Okay, so I kind of have my, not necessarily a triangle. I have more of a cross piece on decoration, but I also have pictures over here and then of course up here and down here. Now, the other option that I'm totally good with is to take these off and scoot these up because what I really want are the words, okay? So I really want the words of the people that I'm waiting for. So if I were to do that, then this would allow that. So here's this, and I'm playing with this because I want you to, you know, just kind of think of how you might do something like this, okay? So this then could become the center. So the triangle is still a line here, but I'm just trying to think if I don't know. I still think I want it here because then I can divide up those two that are remaining. Okay. So that's what the fun thing is for today. And I don't want to lose these. These have traveled a lot of miles to get back. And I know that this is going to be looked at every year. And so I'm very excited about this project. Have a great new year. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And I'm going to show you some other things that we did over Christmas that I think are spectacular fun things for any time of year. Okay, thanks for watching. How easy is it to do a project like this? You're going to see reality on the videos right after this. Take a look.
I have to go first?
But first I did and then I gave it to her.
Thank you for sharing, my girl.
What are you doing with those?
I'm writing something that is a word that Mommy thought of when I thought of our trip this week. And Mommy chose sweetness. Mostly for baby Bella Junebug. Little bit for you.
And a little bit further.
And a little bit for Ender too, that's right. Mommy's gonna finish writing and then we'll do the parque.
And Mommy.
Read it out loud.
Oh, read it right now?
Yeah.
Look at the laugh. Limitless. I chose this word when thinking of all the tears of this trip. Ramona's almost 4 and Ender is 2, and it's a hard age, I guess. But where there is limitless tears, there's even more patience, laughs, lessons, and memories. The family is continuing to grow, and instead of our love running out, it appears to be truly limitless, growing in size along with our team.
Aww.
Okay, I just need to think about it a little bit. I think that's good. And let's just cut.
Hey, so what do you think? Do you want to do a project like this? I say go for it.